It's a British home in the middle of an Australian botanical gardens. Good morning from Bundaberg and welcome back to the daily vlog. And today we're staying in an absolute stunning accommodation that we will show you right after. Oh, didn't even have a sip of my brew then. What a shambles. After we've had our brekkie. We're having a bit of jam on toast, all supplied by the Airbnb owner, so thank you very much. Link will be in the description, but let's go and give you a tour of this stunning little place.
So that has been our Bundaberg stay. I hope you just enjoyed the montage clips that we put together. It gives you a good indication of what this fantastic little spot looks like. It was a great spot to us to come here and work last night. Had fantastic Wi-Fi. The lady Kim is absolutely lovely. She's left us to it. It's just been such a lovely stop that we really needed on this trip. So what we're going to go and do now is we're going to jump in the van. It's checkout time, so we're going to jump in the van and we are going to go and head to the Bundaberg Botanical Gardens.
Ooh, I'm excited.
We've not had a chance to do any botanical gardens really yet, so with today now slowing down a little bit as we get towards the end of the trip, which is tomorrow, is officially our last day. We go home tomorrow, so let's head there, and then we might see if we can get to the Bundaberg rum distillery. Now we have got Picco, so that might not be possible, but
they might have a tour that's not through the bats. They might just have like a kind of museum tour that they're like, you can go through there, but through health and hygiene you can't go through the actual distillery. So if we can do that, that'll be amazing. And just a quick point on the botanicals as well. We've not really done any botanicals because the whole trip's been botanicals, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
It has been pretty much like you said, everything's been so tropical. But today, let's go and have an adventure.
Just as we're leaving here, this looks like a mango grown, but it's on a vine. Mangoes grow on trees, so does anybody know what this potentially is? Please do comment below and let us know.
Now we've arrived at the Bundaberg Botanical Gardens, and these look pretty damned good. The best thing about this place is that they're actually dog friendly, so we can go through the whole thing, have a bit of a wander, enjoy ourselves with Picco too. And I don't think you're ready yet, but if you've watched the channel for a while, you might know that a lovely viewer called June sent us some outfits. And today is one of those days where Picco is wearing his little turtleneck jumper. Look at him. Looking good, looking stylish. Thank you, June.
We've noticed, since our previous spot, the weather change.
Oh, yes.
It's a lot cooler. Even
oh,
though
yes.
It's still what? Is it still 20s here now? But it just feels so much cooler. I think there's no humidity behind it.
Yeah, it just feels so much more colder. I mean, honestly, I don't know how we're going to get on, you know. We're all wrapped up, toasty warm, freezing, to be honest. If the word's right, it's freezing. Yeah? I think you forget where you lived before Australia. The cheek. So, I think we just stay left and walk the whole thing, and let's go for the lakeside walk and make our way round to all the spots.
Let's do it.
It says 10,000 steps, every step counts. Ooh, interesting. Well, you can tell by the way Rog walks, he's a woman's man. Walking across here now, and look. Oh my gosh. Are these little turtles? I can see little turtles. There's loads. They're all doing little kisses. Oh, they're all coming over.
Look at this guy. Is that a big eel or something?
Oh, wow. What is that? Yeah, I think that is an eel. Does anybody know? He's gone back under now, but...
Oh, look at all the little heads.
We're starting an army. Do you know what? People must feed them.
What do they feed them?
I don't know. People might just come down and feed them anything that they have in the cupboards, but... Yeah, you want to make sure that you're feeding them the right things.
Yeah.
If they are not a pest. They might have even been a pest, I don't know, but... Yeah, they look like a little soft-shell turtle. Wow, there's tons appearing. I feel like I'm starting an army. Look at them all. You can all see these little bobbly heads all the way up.
Oh, look.
Yeah, but it has to be the right thing for them. I can always run back to the van and I'll do a Google, see what they can eat.
Yeah.
So we've assembled our army now, and as you can see, they are circling around us. If we were to slip and fall, I think you'd be shredded down to nothing but bones in a matter of seconds. But the real sad thing is that I've actually just searched up and seen on Google that these things are called crefts turtles. And I did a quick Google to see what you can feed them, and it does recommend you feed them leafy greens or bloodworms. No, we don't have either. I've eaten all our bloodworms. We've got none left. I was very hungry in the van earlier. Great travel snack. But we've not really got many leafy greens, so rather than feed them something that's going to make them a little bit unwell, we are going to leave it, as hard as it is when they're all looking at you going, give us some food. There should be plenty in here, I reckon, for them. So as much as I would love to feed you guys, you've got very cute little faces. Look at those little faces. Very, very cute indeed. But I don't want to make any of them unwell. So if you do come down to Bundaberg, grab yourself some leafy greens, bok choy, lettuce, and chuck that in. Spinach, everything like that, they said is fantastic for these guys. If you're around in the area, definitely come down and do that.
And maybe avoid giving them bread.
Avoid giving them bread.
Loaf of bread in the van.
It did say online, stay off the bread. Any of your leafy greens and vegetables looking like they're going to go out of date and none of the family are having them, come down to these guys and give them a snack. I think they really appreciate it. An amazing find that we've stumbled across here, and I don't know whether you would have seen it before, but there was the eel in the water that we weren't sure about as well, and I got confirmation that it was in fact an eel. Oh, a little fish just jumped up over there.
So much nature down here, isn't there?
How great is this spot? Just have a little look round. Apparently, I think they said there's 7 lakes altogether.
Look at him showing off his wings.
Oh, fanning out his wings, having a little sunbathe. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. Picco, you're not going to slip through the holes. I know you're little, but he really does have the belief that he's going to go through these holes at any moment. Look at the state. Picco, are you serious? Even his paw couldn't fall through that. I'm loving this place. There's a bit of wildlife everywhere. Look at this guy. Waiting for his, do you know when you go for sushi and then it comes past you on the rotating kind of belt? That's basically what he's waiting for. He really is getting some fresh, raw fish. They've got all sorts. Look at this. Hinkler, Hall of Aviation.
Ooh.
They've got Hinkler House. They've got a little cafe, railway station.
Rare fruit trees.
Rare fruit trees, ferns, palm grove, little wildlife island over here.
Australian rainforest up there.
Australian rainforest, biofilter.
Oh,
Friendship Grove, a little look, Japanese garden we went past that we need to check out, Chinese tea house, little Chinese garden. It's all going on. Let's go and have a little wander, go and explore a bit more. Look at this little dude.
Oh my God.
Now, this is not the usual water dragon that we've seen, I don't think.
No.
This is something a little bit different. Does anybody know what this little creature is? Let us know in the comments, but mega, mega cute. And right here is one of the eels. Not the easiest to see in the murky water, but pretty cool as well. Look at that. How cool. Wow.
Is he like a catfish eel or something? He looks like a...
I think it's just an eel. From what I read online, it just said eels.
We didn't see many or if any water dragons up north, did we?
We were so quick passing through. Potentially they were there. There might be different types, and I'm guessing there's a lot of I saw a lot of skinks and a lot of smaller lizards.
Yeah.
But maybe if we come to a few more botanical gardens, we might have seen them. Yeah. As soon as we've come to this one here in Bundaberg, bam, seen one.
It has been nice to just take it easy today. It's the first day, I think, on the whole trip where we've not had to
we've got under
somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. We've got an hour and a half driving later, but that's a small journey.
That's a tiny journey.
We've become Aussie. It's happening. And here is the station for the model, not model railway, it's an actual full working park railway system. We have a few things similar to this in the UK, but I'm guessing maybe if it is a bank holiday today, it isn't in operation.
How weird is that?
This is one of the weirdest things I think we've seen so far in here.
Of Australia.
In the whole of Australia.
This house looks like a British house. It's even got a chimney. It's got a chimney round
Cody,
the
that's very odd.
And can you walk around this?
I think we can, so I did read something about it saying, was it James Hewitt or something? This must be some, maybe he was the guy who started up the botanicals. This might have been his home. But if he was British, you can really see it in the style of his house. I'm going to come round here to kind of get round, but...
More this side looks more...
Yeah, maybe not. If you take off the kind of veranda section, the upper veranda section, but the actual structure, the pebble dash, the bricks, that is a British home. I can actually see a plaque. That is the weirdest thing. That is very odd. What on earth? It is just a British home. It's a British home in the middle of an Australian botanical gardens. Weird. We'll read the plaque and let you know what's going on. There is one of the weirdest, I know it doesn't seem like much, but this architecture is not seen much in Australia. I'm sure Aussies can even testify to that. This is, I read there on the sign, it didn't fully say something like this house was reconstructed, but
There's a plaque over there, I might go and have a look.
let's go and have a little look. But yeah, there is a sign on the door, and if we go and have a quick read, it doesn't really explain everything, but from what I can see here, it says number 29, Lydgate Road, Thornhill, Southampton, UK.
This building once sat over 16,000 kilometres away amongst the oak trees.
No way!
So this was in Southampton, this whole house.
So
they moved
they
it.
deconstructed the whole house and rebuilt it here, and this is called Mon Repose. This is insane. This building once sat over 16,000 kilometres away amongst the oak trees of Thornhill Estate in Scolling, Southampton. Built in 1925, it was named Mon Repose. Mon Repose? After the Bundaberg beach, where the young Bert Hinkler, this is the guy that I heard about, tested his homemade gliders. Wow. So it is a British home. We'll have a quick read. It's going to take a while for me to read through and do it on camera, so we'll have a read and let you know. So I had a bit of a read, and Bert Hinkler's house is this house that we're looking at. And the whole point is, like we said, it has been relocated from Southampton. And we were like, why is this the case? Now, Bert Hinkler is quite a famous individual in this area, known for his gliders, quite an iconic person. And after his passing, his house in the UK was set to be demolished. So an individual called Lex Rowland became concerned that such a historic building was to be destroyed and set down for, retirement home? They were going to build a retirement home there. He was so upset by this idea of such a historic building getting demolished that they decided, forget that, we're going to do everything we can, speak to the Southampton council, and everybody in the local area at the time was like, we're going to relocate the building, and they have done to here. Incredible.
Travelled that, especially back then.
That distance, that time. The idea of deconstructing it and rebuilding it exactly brick for brick the same way. And I stand corrected, because I think this is it. Nancy Jarvis, Southampton, England, with Bert Hinkler's car parked underneath the veranda. I said the veranda wasn't very British. You can see right there that it was in the UK, so I stand corrected with the veranda. Wow.
I love how we stumbled on this. Like, we just saw it, we didn't know this was here.
No idea.
We just saw the building and just went, wait, what? It threw you. Like, so funny you pick up on that, just the building material just
that's it. Like, but it's the pebble dash on the side and the brick, the red brick. This concept isn't entirely unique, as we read here. Such an undertaking had only ever been attempted once before in Australian history, the relocation of Captain Cook's cottage from England to Melbourne in 1934. However, the community support for the proposal showed that this building was immense. It was an immense national interest. Wow.
I want to get inside. Let's see.
So they've said that you have to go through the museum and then you actually come through the home as a finishing thing. So if we can do that, that's amazing. We're going to try now and get into the Hinkler Hall of Aviation Centre, the museum. But we do have Picco, so, and understanding of his size, we might be able to hold him in our arm as we go through. Fingers crossed. So, the lovely lady in there called Hannah, I'm not quite sure because of the Aussie accent, has said that we're able to go through and go into the house, but one at a time, because Picco is not allowed because of Queensland Museum. So, we're going to go and check it out, but the house has just opened. Wow. This is pretty cool. So it is all time period correct, but what is really funny that the inside of the home feels very dated, but the outside of the home is still what a lot of UK homes look like today. So even though the insides of homes have changed and developed over the years, the outsides can be very similar, even still today. Very peculiar. It's crazy. Looking at the door and the structure, the walls, it is so similar to a few different houses I've been in the UK. It just feels really, really odd. Really odd that the time frame is so of its time, definitely inside, very period. But the idea that the actual walls and structure and layout, even down to the door frames, is very similar to homes that I've already been in the UK before. Through to the kitchen now. Wow, look at this. Super cool. Walking now into a greenhouse section. Who is that? What's very funny is my grandma used to have chairs in the garden exactly like this, but they were white. Again, so odd, so peculiar. Up the stairs now, and there's a few pubs or hotels that have stairs similar to this with the carpet. A bit old school, but the old bath. Wow. Bert's bathtub. So reading a little bit about Bert, apparently he was a aviation pioneer known as the Lone Eagle. And he was the first man to solo fly from Australia to the UK in 1928. Incredible. So this home isn't his. I thought he might have been born in Southampton, but I think it was his family home before they maybe emigrated over. The fact that it's been built back brick by brick, it's incredible. It truly, truly is a unique spot. So glad we found it. I think it's time we swap the code. I feel bad. So I've just done a little bit of a read up on him, and apparently he married when he was 39, but actually passed away a year later, crashing one of his planes in Italy in the Alps. Wow, at 40 years old, but still such a legend. And there's the exit button. I don't want to keep the lady and the boy waiting too long, but do you know what is fascinating? It's a really cool spot. It only costs $4.50 to go through, so if you're ever in the Bundaberg area, definitely come and check it out. But there is a full museum that we couldn't go in and check out, and I think she said there's another home, so is there 3 or 4 different museums on site of the botanicals?
Well, this is the British one, and this is where you wrap up the museum tour. I think this is the last thing that
Right.
you do.
But you can do it like we did, which is just by itself for $4.50.
Yeah.
Pretty cool spot.
Was it nostalgic? Was it weird?
It was weird. There were certain things that felt very UK, like even modern day, down to the door frames and certain kind of just obviously the overall structure. But from the outside, I said this could be a UK home today. Yeah. There are homes in the UK that look like this.
A lot.
But a lot of the stuff inside is time period.
Right.
So it's very of the time. It's very like, 1920s and early, like you said, early that time. But still such a time period piece, maybe 30s, 40s. But the overall structure and, styling of the house that's UK today. That is, these things last forever. You forget. It is very, very odd. And the garden with the palms, I don't think they had them in Southampton. What do you reckon? Any palms in Southampton?
I think the garden would have looked a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of overcast sky might be seen there maybe, but maybe the palms not so much.
It's typical that the first little bit of drizzly rain we've had on this whole trip is when we've been right near the
British house. Maybe we need to run away quickly. Yeah. These are pretty cool botanicals, I must say. There's a lot going on, from museums, cafes, about, what was it? Did he say multiple different lakes? 7 lakes, I think somebody said, but I've seen 2 or 3 now. Very cool. And we've now arrived back in the Aussie rainforest. Wow. I love how it changes up so quick. Really cool. Oh, wow. What a place to come and have your picnic. Have your little dinner, chilling out in the rainforest. Bundaberg rainforest. I didn't know they had a big rainforest like this. Now we're coming up to the Chinese garden section of Bundaberg's Botanical Gardens. Okay, a little bit of paradise. I see ya. Some more turtles chilling in the water. I see you. Not got any leafy greens.
Paul's quite thinking about the snakes.
That's a big old snake, if that's a snake. Jeez. We've just done a little bit of a read-up behind the reasoning why there is a Chinese section in the Bundaberg Botanical Gardens. And apparently, in China, there is a sister city called Nanning, and that is why the sister location, the sister city, they've kind of partnered together, and they've had basically a back and forth relationship between the 2 cities of Bundaberg and Nanning in China. Pretty cool. And a nice little story behind it. Very nice. Now a little section that we're coming to is the Japanese gardens. In 2004, with the sister city Settsu, Japan. So another sister city location, this time in Japan. I love how this one's kind of very crowded, very ovia. Oh, it has got fish. Little goldies swimming around. Hello, little moorhen. Oh, wow. The little tiered lily pools going down and down. Very nice. Even when we went to High Valley Dawn Farm the other day, it's interesting because in the UK, when you get to the spring and summer time of the year, that is when the vibrancy, the green, the lush colours all start to come through in the UK. So you get excited for, you know, things like the daffodils coming through and daisies and buttercups, and everything starts coming through, and you see the colour come back to the nature and the countryside. Whereas what's really interesting here in Australia is that when we were speaking to the guys at the farm, they said, oh, the winter time is fantastic for us. That's when we grow our best stuff. So where we are located on the East Coast, that kind of subtropical environment, the winter time is when everything grows a lot better than the summer. So that's kind of, again, the same time now for the Aussies, when you grow in and you want to see things bloom through in colour, can sometimes be the better time of year now. Back to the van we go, and that is a wrap on Bundaberg Botanical Gardens.
I think it was pretty good.
You just thought it was going to be a little bit of a route going through, but
Bit of a dog walk.
what an experience.
Yeah, really, really good. Much better than I expected. And the house really threw me.
That still, I don't think I'll be able to comprehend that.
No.
It's still very, very odd.
We have been and got our subway, and that is the view for lunch today.
Not a bad spot at all. So this area is called Bargara, I believe. Now there is this coastal path that wraps all the way down, and it is fantastic. And oh, I see a little doggy on the beach. Maybe a dog-friendly beach there. What a lovely spot to chill out and have a little bit of lunch with a brew in the van.
We can have a cup of tea.
Get that kettle on. You're not having any, mister. You're not allowed it.
Did you say just one cherry bakewell, sir?
Yes, please, for my brew.
With your cuppa? Can you get a better place to have a cuppa and just enjoy that view? Wow. Amazing. What's going on outside? What's going on out here? And so that has been our trip to Bundaberg/Bargara, where we are right now, but it's time to move on to our next location. Now, we're going to keep that one a super secret surprise because there's no reason for you guys to know. You will see in the next vlog where we wake up and what we're doing as our last day on our big 2-week road trip.
I feel like people might be guessing in the comment section. Have a guess and let us know where you think. It's not too hard. There's only so many spaces between Bundaberg and or Bargara, should I say, where we are now, and Coolum in the Sunshine Coast, but let us know where you think it's going to be.
Also, if you've not already subscribed, we do think that by tomorrow we might have passed 10,000 subscribers. Who would have ever have known that? Honestly,
Crazy.
all we can say is thank you so much for all the support.
Crazy.
There's been loads of you in the comments like, come on, subscribe. And we've seen every single one of them. So thank you so much. Remember to like this video. We are absolutely knackered from this trip.
Oh,
it has been full on, but do you know what? Rewarded with views like this. Outstanding. So we will see you in the next one. Quick one. Thank you to the members. You guys are amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And see you in the next one.
Adios.